$2 billion for a private biotech with one clinical stage asset. Gilead is officially shopping with a blindfold and a black card.
Oh, stop. If OM3336 actually delivers rapid B-cell depletion, $2 billion is an absolute steal.
That is a massive premium for a giant if. The whole autoimmune space is pure FOMO right now.
It is pipeline survival, Nate. Speaking of survival, Grab is dropping $600 million to swallow foodpanda in Taiwan.
Now that is a monopoly play I can actually respect. The rundown. $600 million for foodpanda Taiwan. Grab is just vacuuming up everything in the region right now.
Vacuuming up market share, sure, but food delivery margins are still fundamentally terrible. I looked at the unit economics in Taipei, and I just do not see how combining two cash-burning operations magically creates a profitable one.
Because it is a classic monopoly play, Maya. You eliminate the guy across the street handing out bigger discount codes, and suddenly you can actually charge real delivery fees.
Spoken like a true former banker, you are assuming the local regulators just look the other way while Grab hikes prices on boba tea. They are going to face massive pushback on this.
We will see who blinks first. Meanwhile, Sony is reportedly throwing around $1 billion for a home entertainment deal with TCL.
And Energean is picking up Chevron's Angola oil stakes for $260 million. Chevron is clearly trimming the fat to focus on their core assets.
But the rumor mill is where the real fun is today. Estee Lauder is supposedly kicking the tires on Spain's Puig to build a beauty mega conglomerate. And my personal favorite, Centrium, is in advanced talks for Nestlé's Blue Bottle.
Wait, really? The private equity guys who backed Luckin Coffee?
Exactly. The ultimate irony. They go from mass market app-ordered discount coffee in China to the most aggressively artisanal pour-over brand on earth.
I cannot wait to see them try to scale a 15-minute pour-over process. The synergy deck on that deal must be high comedy.
Oh, I would pay to read it. Just pages of charts about optimizing the bloom time of single origin beans.
Speaking of private equity, Apollo just took a 37% minority stake in Syntegon from CVC.
A minority stake transfer between two massive sponsors. Just moving money from one pocket to another?
I know, it is just passing the parcel. But keep an eye on Blackstone tomorrow. They are apparently evaluating a high-profile stake in the Global Cricket League.
Private equity and cricket. The sports asset bubble just keeps inflating.
I want to see the valuation on that pitch deck, but we need to talk about the massive premium Gilead is paying for Ouro Medicines. $2 billion for a clinical stage biotech.
Autoimmune therapies are the new gold rush. They want that T-cell engager, and they're paying top dollar for it.
I pulled the early trial data on OM336. The rapid B-cell depletion numbers are interesting, but a $2 billion price tag means they are pricing in absolute perfection. Let me walk you through the clinical footnotes. The big one. $2 billion for a clinical stage asset. I had to read the release twice just to make sure I did not drop a decimal point.
You are just experiencing sticker shock, Maya? It is the cost of doing business in biotech right now.
No, Nate. I am experiencing rational thought. Gilead is paying $2 billion for Ouro Medicines, a privately held company whose main claim to fame is OM336. It is a T-cell therapy.
Which targets rapid and deep B-cell depletion. That is the holy grail for autoimmune diseases right there.
Sure, in theory. But it is still in the clinic. $2 billion for potential. The commentators are calling it an aggressive play, which is polite analyst speak for they overpaid.
Disagree. Strongly disagree. Look at Gilead's inflammation portfolio. They need this. Autoimmune is the new oncology. If you want a clinical stage T-cell engager right now, you are paying a massive premium. It is a seller's market.
I looked at the trial data footnotes. The rapid depletion is promising, yes. But they are pricing this as if Phase 3 is a guaranteed home run. We both know biotech Phase 3 is where dreams go to die.
Spoken like a true skeptic. Put your banker hat on for a second. Actually, wait, let me put my old banker hat on.
Please do not. It cuts off oxygen to your brain.
Very funny. My point is if Gilead does not buy Ouro, someone else does. Big Pharma would have swooped in by Friday. Gilead had to clear the market, and you clear the market with overwhelming cash.
I get the scarcity argument. I just hate the valuation. $2 billion for a single clinical T-cell engager feels like a panic buy from a company desperate to refresh its pipeline.
It is a strategic moat. Deep B-cell depletion is how you treat massive chronic conditions. If OM336 works, $2 billion is literally a rounding error.
If, that is a $2 billion if.
I will take that bet all day. The landscape is highly opportunistic right now. You see an asset that fits your inflammation pipeline perfectly, you write the check.
I just hope Gilead's shareholders are as optimistic as you are. Because if this therapy flops, someone in corporate development is getting a very uncomfortable exit interview.
True, but you cannot win the World Series by bunting.
And you cannot win if you blow your entire payroll on an unproven rookie.
Fair enough. We will check back on this one in 3 years when the FDA actually weighs in.
I am marking my calendar.
Speaking of clearing the market, can we talk about what is happening in Taiwan? Because grab paying $600 million to eliminate foodpanda is a completely different kind of aggressive play. Voices.
I was reading the analyst notes this morning on the Gilead deal, and they are basically doing cartwheels over this $2 billion price tag for Ouro Medicines.
Massive premium. That is the exact phrase floating around. Everyone is saying it underscores the premium on clinical stage autoimmune therapies.
Right. But $2 billion for a clinical stage asset. OM336 is interesting, sure. Rapid B-cell depletion sounds great on a slide deck. But we have seen this movie before with T-cell therapies. The safety profiles usually blow up in phase 3.
You're looking at it like a scientist, Maya. Look at it like a banker. Autoimmune is the new oncology. Gilead has a massive hole in their inflammation portfolio, and they need to buy growth. $2 billion is just the cost of entry right now.
Cost of entry? That is a ridiculous rationalization. They are overpaying because the market is hyped, not because the math works. If you read the actual trial footnotes, the efficacy data is completely unproven at scale.
I completely disagree. If they wait for phase 3 data, the price jumps to $5 or $6 billion. They are buying the option value. It is a classic land grab.
A $2 billion option. Must be nice to play with pharma money.
Speaking of playing with money, did you see the other analyst note going around? The one calling this a, quote, highly dynamic and opportunistic global M&A landscape, unquote.
Oh yes, because we are seeing everything from tech deals to industrial soil remediation.
Industrial soil remediation. You know an analyst is reaching for a narrative when they lump T-cell therapies and dirt cleaning into the exact same macro trend.
It is the circle of life, Nate. You cure the autoimmune disease, you clean the dirt. It all makes perfect sense.
Pure corporate poetry. But if you want a real opportunistic landscape, we need to talk about what is happening in the beauty sector right now.
Oh, the Estee Lauder whispers? Because the structure on that Puig rumor actually is fascinating. Spill the tea. I still refuse to believe the Paramount and Warner Bros. Merger is actually happening, but now Tencent is supposedly back at the table with fresh funding.
They just cannot let this go. It is like watching someone try to duct tape 2 sinking ships together and hoping they magically turn into a submarine.
Okay, but Tencent bringing new capital changes the math completely. If they are willing to underwrite the massive debt load, the regulatory headache suddenly looks a lot more manageable for the board.
Manageable? You were talking about regulators looking at a massive U.S. media consolidation backed by Chinese tech money. Good luck getting that past anyone in Washington right now. The antitrust lawyers are already popping champagne.
I'm not saying it closes tomorrow. I am just saying the term sheet probably looks a lot prettier today. Speaking of pretty, Estee Lauder is supposedly in talks to buy Spain's Puig to forge a new global beauty giant.
Now that is a rumor I actually buy. Estee Lauder desperately needs a win, and grabbing those European luxury brands in one fell swoop, that is a legacy-defining move.
Oh, come on. Puig just went public like 5 minutes ago. Why would the founding family sell now? They just prove to the market they can stand on their own.
Because being public is exhausting, Maya. Trust me, the former banker in me knows exactly how this pitch goes. You tell the family they can take a massive premium, avoid agonizing quarterly earnings calls, and still keep their name on the building.
I will believe it when I see the SEC filing. But you want a rumor that actually made me do a double take? Centurium is in advanced talks for Nestlé's Blue Bottle.
Wait, really? The private equity firm behind Luckin Coffee?
Exactly. The irony is just too rich. From the biggest accounting scandal in Chinese coffee history to buying the ultimate hipster pour-over brand.
I cannot wait to pay $12 for a single origin iced latte subsidized by private equity.
You already do. Look, we have to talk about what Blackstone is circling next because private equity evaluating a massive stake in the Global Cricket League was definitely not on my bingo card for tomorrow. Tomorrow's radar. Hoyeseki handan our barbarasing hoites. I've got alerts set for Perfect Corp's filings tomorrow morning.
You actually think that going private proposal goes anywhere?
They just formed a special committee. You don't pay those legal fees unless you're seriously evaluating the offer.
Please, it's pure posturing to bump the stock. If you want real entertainment, watch Blackstone. They're evaluating a stake in the Global Cricket League.
Wait, really? Blackstone doing cricket?
Private equity loves sports rights right now. It's the ultimate recurring revenue model.
I still say it's a vanity play. Speaking of vanity, keep an eye on Estee Lauder. Rumor is they're talking to Puig.
Now that makes sense, but the real gossip? Centurium is circling Nestle's blue bottle.
The Luckin Coffee backers want blue bottle. That is a culture clash waiting to happen. Pour-over snobs meet hyper-growth capital.
Which is exactly why we'll be tracking every filing. Catch you tomorrow.